Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thanks for joining me today. It's Junk Journal Day, and so I just thought I'd show you these things that I made last week. So we had a bit of a week off for Easter, but I did have a few little moments where I could go in my craft room. So didn't have time to make much, so I just made some little things. And I basically made things out of just what was lying around and a bit of junk. So the basis for these things that I made was my medication. So I take a lot of different meds, and so I thought, oh, why not use this card? So that's what I used for those, and some book pages and some corrugated cardboard. And some digital images. That one's Artie May's, but all the rest are mine. I've sort of downloaded different images from lots of public domain sites that I found, and then I also had a go at making little tickets. Downloaded some stamps as well, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with how they went. That's a freebie ledger sheet. I think that's from the old Curiosity Shop. So just the one sheet I've used to sort of back all of these, so that there's places to write on. I haven't done that one, forgot. And then with the bit of ledger sheet that was left over, I did a bit of collaging and made these tags. So I collaged I've got some adverts that I've downloaded as well, I found on Tinterweb, and these some more of these tickets that I've made, and another image, and some doilies and some stamping and some more corrugated, well, it was a cardboard box I've sort of ripped up, and some doilies. So quite pleased with how they turned out. And then I thought, with some of the odd bits that were sort of lying about, that I'd make some little clusters. And I thought, if I get some clusters sort of ready, then they're just ready now. The next time I make a tag, I can just chuck it on top and it's done. So I thought these are quite fun to do. So I thought I'd show you how I get these bits. And then we'll make a few clusters, and then maybe make a few tags. Okay, so I've used some cardboard boxes. So I get cardboard boxes all the time. Imagine you're all shopping on the internet and getting deliveries. In the UK here, our non-essential shops are still not open. They do open on Monday, so that's fabulous. But I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator, so I get Stampin' Up boxes quite regularly, and they're these nice sort of double thickness, really sturdy boxes, and they've got like this colour brown on the outside and then this colour on the inside. And what I've done is, I did this one night, was on I do guides, and we've started meeting on Zoom, and so one night when we were doing things, I was just quietly ripping apart some cardboard that I had on my desk, and I thought, oh, that's really nice. So this outside bit comes off quite well, so you can just pull it, and I'm just quite gentle with it, and sometimes it can come off in a really good go, and sometimes it sort of rips a bit. I did have a go at putting it over a steaming kettle to see if that was better, and actually I've got one that I made earlier in true Blue Peter style, and that did work really well. But I just wanted to show you, if you didn't want to do that, you can just pull it and then you get different effects. But I did get it all off in one go after holding it over the steam in the kettle for a bit. I suppose it just melted the glue a bit, and it did come off a little bit better, but this is working quite well to pull off. And there's that bit in the middle where it's not ripping so well, but just thought, let's go for it. So there's some nice little bits there. I just think that's quite a nice little effect there with the lines, and it doesn't matter about ripped bits because that'll all come in handy, and you can use it the other side as well. And then you've got a double bit of corrugated there, so I just sort of got it so that I just got the top bit, and I wanted to do this just to sort of so I could actually give my opinion on whether or not, I wasn't sure if the steam actually helped, and I can honestly say it did. Had a much better result with the steam, although that's not bad. Once you start going, that's not bad. So I just rip that bit off. So I get a lot of cardboard would just be one layer, so you probably wouldn't have this. You could just do it with your one layer. But here I've got sort of 2 layer. And then I rip this one off, and this layer I found was harder to get off, but I do believe it was easier once steamed. Now you could choose to leave this like this, and I actually did think that would make quite a nice cover for a journal. That's quite interesting. I found when I first did my first sort of bit of a tag, this one, it was quite bumpy. I've since gone over it with a bone folder to flatten it down, but it is quite thick, which I thought maybe not such a great idea when trying to put it in a journal, because it will add quite a bit of bulk to it. So I did find when ripping this off, this was a little bit harder. So certainly steaming helped a little bit. Anyway, one I did earlier. So I managed to get the whole sheet off in one go after I steamed it for a bit, so that was much better. I managed to get this off virtually in whole sheet with steaming, so you're left with just the corrugated bits. That's much lighter now, and you can flatten it out, which is good. The other piece was a little bit more problematic, and the bits did come off in little pieces, but they're quite good for making little clusters. I didn't mind that so much. And then when you've got this bit, so you've got bits there that's held together, and what you can do is just pull it slightly, and they kind of, it does sort of rip these bits a little bit. You can sort of feel them ripping a bit, and you're just ripping this sort of top bit. Sometimes you rip it completely bits off, as I have done there, but you get this little effect. You sort of get it to go sort of flat, or you can just use a nail or something to pull it out and sort of get them off. But you can create little raggedy bits with it. But I love this bit. So that was just what I wanted to show you. I'm going to move these sort of little bits away. So I just thought, really interesting brown paper, and quite thick. That one's rougher, and then you've got these nice bits here, and you can take a bone folder and sort of flatten them down a bit, but they still maintain a bit of that sort of look, but it makes them sort of flatter, so they won't sort of stand out quite so much on your page. So my thoughts were, rip it, don't matter how it rips, and make some interesting little clusters. That's quite a nice one there. There's a long one, and you can flatten them down a bit. Still got a little bit of texture there. I thought that makes quite a nice sort of basis for a cluster. And you can add, I'm going to use my stamps, so I'm using this Very Versailles. I really like this stamp set for junk journaling. Got a beautiful frame there, lovely script. That is my favourite. Some nice leaves and a little border there. There are some sentiments which you can use if you choose to, but I quite liked the idea of putting script all over these. So I'm going to just bring in my old Stampin' Up catalogue to stamp on top of. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use some soft suede. I think that would be a nice colour to go with this bit of corrugated cardboard. And I just thought it's something that I have found myself in the last week, with us having sort of the odd days out because we could garden visit, and then just having the odd half an hour here and half an hour there, and found this sort of quite useful to pick up and sort of run with and do. I'm just going to leave that up there. I was going to not ink anything, and then I couldn't help myself. So got that. I have been making my own sort of bits of ephemera. So I made these tickets. So and I just added some. I did the typing myself. I found these ticket shaped and all these images that I found. So these ones are joined together, and then I did some that weren't, and then I printed it on, I printed it just white. Can't find the white sheet. And then this is printed over like a grungy book page. Done some adverts and just a load of stamps, which and I got some nice vintage images there as well. So these were just things I was doing. I just thought not everybody sort of buys digitals, and it's actually quite easy to find images on different sites that you could use. So quite like having a ticket on each of them. So I'm going to cut myself up these tickets. I've got 4. I'm going to use the florals. So I'm just going to cut that up. You can just cut them out with scissors if you want. That's a nice bit there. Could use for something else. Right, I'm going to use a little circle punch. I've got a 1/2 inch circle punch to take out these little bits in one go. Makes it easier. So sort of to add these clusters using like the rule of 3, thought of adding 3 things. So an image, a bit of cheesecloth, and maybe a doily. Those were my thoughts on that. I'm going to just going to cut these bits. So these late ticket things were PNG images that you could add things to, and then I just added these images, and then I just typed in as well. So that's got those, so they would go nicely on top there. I might ink round them. So then on the back, a little bit of cheesecloth. So I've got some cheesecloth here that I have tea dyed. So I'm just going to cut up a bit of that. Could rip. Depends actually whether, yeah. So if you haven't got it, if I'd have cut that way, it'd have been better. It depends where the grain is on the thing. So that'll do. So one piece like that. So I thought, so I'll just stick it on, stick that behind, sort of without thinking about it. Get them done. You get a load done quite quickly, and then you've got them. Make this a longer one. Then you've got them ready for sticking on a tag whenever you're making one. You could always leave it as well that you don't put the image on, so that you can put something on the top that matches whatever it is that your journal theme is. So you could leave that bit out. I'm sort of roughing up the edges here. So then a doily was my thoughts. I'm keeping this because I'm going to do some inking. So I've got doilies. Got some little mini doilies. So I've got this set that I got. That was on a magazine years ago. I completely forgot about that. Found it. I did a little bit tidying up, believe it or not. So these are all Stampin' Up ones that are in here. These ones you can still buy, and these ones you can still buy, but the others are retired. Oh, and those you can still buy. Those ones, these 3 you can still get on clearance. They don't cost very much. £2. I think they're £1.70. These might be £2 something. So that's quite cool. Oh, quite light. Not used the hearts much. So maybe these are in 2 colours. So you get, how many do you get? 40. So it's 20 there of the red ones, but they're white on the back, so you can ink, and then there's some pink ones. But again, as I say, they're white on the back, so you can ink them. But I think these pink ones, I think that's 2 there. Feels a bit thick. Maybe it's not. No, maybe it is just the one. Did think that would look nice behind there. Right like that. I actually think it looks better with that one. I don't often do lots of colour, but I think that will look nice. Right like that. I could put that over there. I could colour it. That's my thoughts there. I am still in frame there. I was thinking, am I in frame? I'm in frame and you can see my messy desk. I'll just pull it over a tad. So that's that. We've got some pearlised doilies. Now I really like the pearlised doilies. I quite like using these as little templates because that pearlised bit on the top, you can use those to sort of ink through, but it is actually sort of plain at the back, so you can use it either way. So I might just ink those up and use a bit with that and a bit with that. There we go. That didn't take long to decide, and that was what I wanted. I wanted to find something that I'm just literally not going to give too much thought about, but put together. But I want to do a bit of inking, so I'm going to take my soft suede, I think, and what I often do when I'm inking doilies is I like kill two birds with one stone, and ink it up, but actually add a bit of interest there as well. So as I say, the other side is pearlised, so if you like a little bit of sort of bling to it, but it doesn't really take colour very much. But and anyway, that's the way we want that. And I might just put a bit of colour around this. That's ready to stick. Do the same on this one. So I could actually go around these doilies and get a load of them sort of inked up, ready. Don't know why I'm doing it like that. Took leave of my senses for a moment. And just have them all ready to go. Right. Quite an interesting little pattern there. Now, do I need any more? No, I think that worked quite well. The outline of this ticket is a little bit bluey. Which I'm not liking. But I say I was just experimenting. And I can't change the colour of it, so I need to find another one that's not bluey, I think. Now this, I want the pink, but I want it to be a little bit distressed as well. So I want to just add a little bit of distress around the edge, but still maintaining the pink. But I don't want it quite so bright. I want to knock it back a tad. And I want it on the edge of there. There we go. See, I love the way that pattern's gone around there. Got to cover it up now, but it looks nice. So there we are, that's that. So I'm going to get them all stuck together. So that's them all made. So I thought we'd maybe make one of my tags. So I've got me medicine box here. So we'll just cut it down. Probably the easiest, not using tin hole scissors for that, Jez. Use my cheaper ones. So I am on umpteen meds. So I get through probably about six a month, something like that. So I get lots of these. The side ones of this aren't going to be much use, but I can use these two big ones. The ones I use for the other one, I did use the sides because they were a bit thicker, but not for this one. And I'm just gonna trim it down. I want it to be straight. And then I just covered the packaging that you can see just with a book page. So I've got this book here that I'm using. I use that just for a bit of inking, but that's fine. So we can use that. I'm not sure if I can get both out of this. No, so we'll take 2 book pages. So just put them to one side. So we've got that, and then we can ink the edges if we choose, but that just a nice size for those to go on, and simple as that. I did add a little bit of baker's twine, which I quite like the look of, so I might do that. I've got loads of baker's twine, so I can pick ones out that sort of match the colour. There's a bit of pink there, that's quite nice, and that's a sort of a purpley colour, that's quite cool. And I can just tie it round, so I can put a bit of tape on there to hold it in place. And then you can just tie a little bow, and you can put a little bit of a things start falling down, a little bit of a glue dot behind that knot, and that holds that in place. Oh, this is well unravelled. I usually have a bit of ribbon tied round. Just going to roll it up under there. Get me knot. Pull it out. That should be it down. Marvellous. And then do a little bit of a bow. maybe a tad higher than I would have liked. There we go, that one's too big. Pull that loop in, pull that loop. That's now stuck a little bit on there. That's fine. So there we go. And then we're just going to put a bit more. I'm going to ink round that actually before we stick it down. So I tell myself I'm going to do something without inking. Yeah. I then think, oh, it just looks so much better inked. And I could do that's fine. I may as well ink this one whilst I'm about it. Well, there's quite a bit of inking on that because I was using it to ink up other bits. So that's all it really needs. And then we can glue that down. Need to refill this. Glue that on there. So I like to take the bone folder. So that's that one. Going to do the same on this one. Yeah, before I do that, the other thing you can do is give your twine a little bit of an aged look. Rubbing some ink on it, give us a little bit of a vintage feel. And doesn't look quite so bright. And then I just took a little bit of ribbon to finish them off. So I looked in my ribbon drawer to find something that would go nicely with that. And I've got this ribbon here. It's just Fresh Fig. It's an old Stampin' Up colour, one of my favourite colours, and that goes so nice with that baker's twine. So I just took a bit like that, put it in a V, like that. Got me little stapler, and stapled it down. This is the Stampin' Up version. I think it's the same as somebody else's. Famous Man's Tiny Attacher, I believe it's called. Why do they make up these names? It's a stapler. It is a mini stapler. And I'll just staple that in there. Made a pig's ear of that, but there you go. I don't mind. And that's that. So I've just got to add some journaling on the back there, and that's that one done. I want some pink for that. And I've got this one. I think that will work. I think I used that on one of the others. And there's something that I'm dying to do. There's still ink on here. Yay. Quite like the look of that. And these bits could always be left until you're doing your journal, so you know what colour you want to sort of match up. But that's those two. We've got another sort of a fatty one, and we've got a long one. I haven't got any more medicine boxes up here. I'm just going to go and get some because I've got oodles. So I got another medicine box. It was a different size. So I did that one exactly the same way as those two, but you can see it's a different size. And I cut this one down to 2 inches wide. And I thought this would make a nice tag. And I'm going to use this Stampin' Up tag topper punch. I just think it gives a really nice sort of vintagey shape. That's why I really like this one in my junk journals. Just love it. Just think that's gorgeous. And this is slightly too long, so I'm just going to rip a bit off the top. There we go. Might just rip a little bit off the bottom. And then stick that on like that. Might even snip a bit off there. There we go. And that will get stuck on. And that will make a nice different shaped tag. So I hope that's made you think about the rubbish that you've got in your house and how you could use it and combine it with other bits of your stash that you've got. And these haven't taken very long at all. And then I've got a pot, an ever-growing little tub full of different tags. I would probably put an eyelet in that. Before I use it. But I think those bits of cardboard bit of book page, and I think they make really nice bits of ephemera to put. They're ready for some more. I say those I used all of those with that corrugated bit, but these ones with that nice brownie colour. And I say in there I've made some collages and some tags. So really fun, enjoyable, creative couple of hours there all together. I've only been about an hour doing this, not even that really. So yeah, I hope you like that. I will link down below to the Stampin' Up items that I've used, so you can go and buy them if you wish to. And I will link to my blog where I'll have sort of close-up photos as well. And yeah, and I'll add this to my playlist of tags and embellishments and things in my junk journal series. So hope you like that. And I hope you take a look and see what other things I've got. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you for another Junk Journal episode next Wednesday. And then I'll see you Friday, Sunday and Tuesday for my normal Stampin' Up videos and the extra bonus one that I often give you on a Saturday. Okay, bye for now.